Welcome to What You See is What You Get Web Builder, version 21. In this tutorial, I will be teaching you the very basics of how to use this website builder in both the conventional methodology and the AI methodology. I'm going into greater detail on this particular tutorial than I ever have on my previous tutorials. When using the AI that is advertised with What You See is What You Get Web Builder, you will discover that the web builder does not actually have their own AI. Instead, they use an interface that will work with Google API or OpenAI API. These are subscription-based AI components. They're slightly different than the AI chatbot that you're accustomed to using, but will work somewhat similarly. An AP interface is designated to a specific task and is a very specified tool. When you're inside Web Builder, you will see links to OpenAI to do a specific task. You will click on the link and it will provide you with a tool like we'll say if you are in the description box. It will look at the body of your text and keywords and key phrases in the description that best matches your website. I will be covering this and how to use a standard chatbot such as Copilot, ChatGPT, or Gemini AI. I will be using a voice changer in this tutorial, as my own voice is becoming deteriorated with my age and related health issues. So please bear with me with that part. I'm going to break this tutorial up into sections so that you can go back and review each section until you have mastered that particular task. When you are through with this tutorial, you will have all the knowledge and tools to successfully build your own website. So with that said, let us begin. Whenever you first install What You See is What You Get Web Builder version 21, the program comes with a default ribbon menu. While this is useful, the traditional menu you will find be of much greater help. The traditional menu will contain a larger array of useful tools that you will be using throughout your website building career. In order to do this, we're going to go up to the traditional menu where it says Files, and go over to the extreme right-hand side, and next to the last menu item it says Tools. Click on Tools, then come down through the ribbon menu, and then go to the right, and click on Options. Over to the right, second selection down, click on the pull-down menu. Select Menu/Toolbars. Then come to the bottom of the page and click OK. Now that we have our traditional menu at the top, the way we can start expanding as we go to View, click on it, come down to Toolbars, and begin checking off each and every item on the list except full screen mode. The reason is we can use the F11 key to switch back and forth between full screen mode and working mode. You will notice I have a great number of icons at the top in my toolbar, and the reason is I have copied all those into place. This is because I use each and every one of these throughout my website building. You can either go to the end of each of the icon menus and click on the little down arrow and go down to Customize, and then the majority of the commands are listed in Insert. Go throughout Insert and pick out whatever you think that you're going to need as a tool. Then you can put that on your icon bar at the top. The way you do that is, once you found what you want, you hold down the left mouse button, do not let go, and then drag that up to the icon toolbar. Then release the left mouse button and it will stay put. Let's see how that works. I'm gonna grab another utility that I like to use and we'll drag it up to the toolbar. Then we're going to use it and then launch our web browser to see what it looks like afterwards. Just remember, you can go to the end of your menus, look for the little small down arrow, click on it, then come over to Customize, and click on Customize. Now once you do that, you can then go down through the categories, and a majority of the tools are in Insert category. Look for the tools that you're going to want to put on your toolbar. Grab it with your left mouse button, hold that mouse button down, and then drag that up to the position on the toolbar where you want that tool to go, then release your mouse button and it will stay. We'll start off making a brand new page by going up and hitting the little white new website icon located on the extreme left side at the top of the menu. Or go to File and Make New Website. Next, we're going to click our right mouse button and pull up Page Properties. At the top, we will change the title of our page to whatever we want to call our website. Then we'll come down halfway to page size, and the default is 970 pixels, which has been the conventional desktop web size for years. However, modern websites are usually 1280 pixels, or 1920 pixels wide. We're going to use 1280 pixels wide, and we'll make our web page for the moment 1500 pixels tall. Down below that is language, and we'll click Page Language pull-down menu, and select whatever language that we wish to use, in this case English. Then go down to the bottom of the dialog box and click OK. Once again, we'll click our right mouse button, go to Page Properties, and we're going to click the second tab at the top, called Styles. What we want to do is come down 2/3 of the way, where you see where it says Responsive Fonts, click that and say OK. I normally make my web page default fonts 12 point. Now 12 points is the default font size, and then anything else I need to change, I'll merely highlight it and then change the font size of the highlighted word. Click OK, and then we'll go over to our toolbox on the left side, and locate Image, and then go hunt down our banner image. In this case some will have kind of a West Texas look here, and draw in our banner for the full page width, and just enough to be aesthetically pleasing vertically. Then we're going to scroll down to Drawing, and look for Shape. It defaults to the rectangle, but we can make a rectangle in any variation of that shape we want. I'm going to draw out the rectangle and squish it up, and once I get that done I'm going to double click it, and I will pick out the color for it, and then come down a little ways to where you see Stroke. Now the stroke is the outline, so in this case we're going to make it the same color as our interior color. Then click OK. What we've just done is made bottom border for our website header background. We'll scroll all the way back up, look for Image, and what we're going to do is put in a second image. Now, the nice thing about this is, you can stair-step overlay as many pictures as you want. And I'll show you in just a minute how to send pictures to the back or bring forward. We get our rodeo girl, we're going to put her over in the corner and make it look like that we've got a root and tootin' cowgirl out on the West Texas plains. What you see is what you get. Web Builder has a first come, first serve type image structure, so when we put down our banner that's layer number 1, the cowgirl is layer number 2, and if we wanted to put something on top of her, then we would have layer number 3. But if you need to send something back one step, instead of all the way back, and having to play with everything, you go up to the commands that allow you to make a picture come to the front, make a picture come to the back, a picture go back one step, or come forward one step. If you don't have this on your toolbar, you can go to View, and come down to Customize, go to Insert, and you will find that the tool's there as we discussed earlier. Next, we're going to go to our toolbox, and we're going to scroll down to the Drawing section, and look for Text Art down at the bottom. We're gonna use text art to make our website name out of. It will be an SEO compliant graphic, and self-identifying to search engines. It defaults to white, so you look at it, the white background, you can see it very well, so I'll make some subtle changes in color, so that you can see the fonts. Also, you will notice that you can do all kinds of styles of headers, or graphic wording. But for our purposes, conventional layout will suffice. In the top box we can change the wording of our text art, or website name in this case. Then we come down, and we change the font color, and the stroke color. Just remember, stroke is the outline color, so we want to make it the same color. Now the next little trick is to use miscellaneous. Here we can give it a drop shadow or 3D shadow, but I prefer drop shadow. Here we can adjust number of points of the X and Y axis, as well as the blurring of the shadow. The inner shadow is what helps give it the real 3D depth, so we'll go to a negative number. In this case, -2 points on X and Y axis, and I'll give it 3 blur. You will see that it gives it an adequate 3-dimensional look with drop shadow. So let's go to that miscellaneous tab and see how it's done. You'll notice a dramatic difference in the characteristic of the font. One of the nice things about text art is it is a true graphic, and so we can resize and reshape the word that we just created, or set of words, to stretch out and shape into place just the way we want our header to look. Next, what we're gonna do is go back to Toolbox and come up to Text, and we're just going to enter our fake address to our demonstration website, so that we can make aesthetically pleasing headers on our landing pages and other website pages. Now, we've got the basics for the outline of our website. We're going to make it more usable for desktop, tablets, and cell phones. We're going to use what is known as a breakpoint. It is located down at the bottom left-hand corner at the base of Object Manager, just on the outside. It is a square with a little green icon inside. The 3 most common sizes for today's usage is: the desktop is 1280 pixels wide, tablets are 768 pixels wide, and all cell phones can see websites of 320 pixels wide. The average cell phone today ranges from 320 to 480 pixels in width, with a handful going to 640 pixels wide. However, all the cell phones can see the 320 pixel wide web page perfectly. So these are the numbers that we will be beginning to use in our website building. Once we have an outline of our website completed, we will save it out and give it a name. I like to give it a name of my template. Well, it's not really a template, it's a publication. We can load it up and continue building our website in a new folder on the server, saving it out with a new name. Then all we have to do is point to that folder, and the website continues on as we expand and build upon it. Each breakpoint make different size websites for each width that we select from the pull-down menu. You can also change the width in the little box. You'll also notice that there are changes in the size and the position of different objects within website. This is normal. I want you to pay special attention to the Object Manager because we're gonna be working with this quite a bit, and our breakpoints are important. The reason is sometimes when we resize a breakpoint page, something on one page size will change everything on all the other pages. The way to get around that is to copy the object or objects that out of that page that are too big or too small, and paste them over to the right side, and then highlight the ones that are out of proportion. However, do not delete them. Instead, you will go to the Object Manager, and you will uncheck them. When you click on an object in the Object Manager, it will highlight the name of that particular object that is located on the web page. Uncheck this, because if you delete it on this page, it'll delete it on all pages simultaneously. You will uncheck the objects that are out of proportion on the page you are on. It's okay to highlight them one at a time, and then go to Object Manager and uncheck it. That is the safe way to do it. Then, the other objects that you have pasted over to one side, resize them and put them in place. The shortcut way to find out if there's anything out of kilter on the other pages is hold down the Control key and type the letter A. That selects all. Then go to the other breakpoint pages, and down at the bottom of the Object Manager all the freshly pasted objects will be highlighted there. Just politely uncheck those items. Now they will not appear on the other pages. You'll need to do this for each of the other breakpoint pages. Yes, it can be a little aggravating, but that is the nature of breakpoint and cascading style sheets. You see, what you see is what you get. Web Builder is a true cascading style sheet website builder. It is the better designed web builder than some of the others by far. It is a time-tested, proven web designer program. Once again, we'll just copy our object, then highlight it on the object manager, uncheck it, paste the copy, resize it, place it in its location. Highlight it, then go to each of the breakpoint pages and uncheck it in Object Manager. Once you've done this, everything will balance out perfectly on all the different sizes. Once we've had an opportunity to make the proper adjustments on each of the breakpoint pages, let's cycle through each of those pages, so to make sure that everything is exactly in place. Once we've accomplished this, we'll be able to save out as a raw publication, or as I like to call it, a homemade template. So you say, well, what exactly is a breakpoint page? It is actually a cascading style sheet. In other words, it is a single page that will resize itself in accordance to the size of the screen of the device viewing it. Once you get accustomed to using breakpoints in your pages, it will become second nature to you. Now, I'm fixing to demonstrate exactly why resizing an object on one page will upset the apple cart on another. I went from the mobile page back to the desktop page, and suddenly we realized, oh, this was not right. We should have copied it, unchecked it from the object manager, pasted, and resized, and put it in place as we just described. If you forget to do this, you will suddenly be reminded that, oh hey, I forgot to copy, uncheck, and paste. Don't forget, you need to go back through the other breakpoint pages and make sure that that object is unchecked and object manager that you just pasted into place on the other breakpoint page. Now we're going to go back to the other page that was previously changed, and we're going to locate new secondary tile. I'm gonna move it down so you can see it, then find object name and uncheck it, and it'll go away. At this point, it's a good idea to always go through and cycle through your breakpoint pages. Make sure there isn't anything left behind. This will reduce embarrassment whenever you publish your website. Believe me, been guilty of this myself. And then whenever I wound up going home after showing someone my page, I had to change it. You don't want that embarrassment. We're gonna use non-publishable pages as a tool for website building, but first we're going to familiarize ourselves with our site manager. The first tab in the site manager is Make a New Page. Next is Create a Page from a Template. Next, add an external file to a page, then edit a page, then clone a page. This is very useful. Then delete a page or item. Next is Page Properties, and then move a page up, and finally move a page down. What we'll do here is create a new page, and I'm going to call it x.html for lack of a better name to call it. Then right-click my mouse button or go up to the Edit Page Properties, and then go to middle of the dialog box, and check off each and every one of the checkboxes located in the middle of the dialog box. This will make the page non-publishable yet, and still you'll have full access to it during the building of your website. Next, I would highly advise creating a new page for each and every one of your favorite AI chatbots. Each one of those will be a shortcut URL or user relay link to the website, so whenever you have your web browser open, you click on it, and it'll open up a new instance of the browser and you'll have full access to a chatbot. The reason for this is you can do some fantastic work on your website using chatbots. It's only limited by your imagination. Here you can see where I have filled my unpublishable page full of tools such as storyboards, cards, menu items, commonly used themes such as menu and topic list, navigational bars, commonly used graphics such as headers, page content, and other niceties for the web page. Here all we have to do is copy whatever is on this non-publishable page and take it to page that we're building and paste it. Yes, it is that simple. By making our own homemade template, which is really just a publication of a web page with a header and menu items, you can rapidly build a website to your liking. The trick is to create different things that you will be using on a regular basis in order to build your website with. Things like headers, footers, Google Maps, menus, and other things. One of the things I really like to do is, I like to put all of my available navigation bars on this unpublishable page. That way I just have to grab it, and then go back to my regular page, and then paste it. After that, I don't have to worry with it. Also, you can make 2 or 3 extra non-publishable pages, and just leave them blank to build bits and pieces of a web page, then look to see how you like it. Now, once you have it the way you like it, highlight the content by dragging your mouse with the left mouse button held down, and while holding it down, drag it over the contents area. Once you have highlighted the area that you wish to copy, let go of the mouse button and you'll see a dotted line around the contents. Then while holding down the Control key, tap the letter C as in Charlie. That will allow you to copy the content. Then when we go back to our regular page, the one that we're working on, we place our mouse cursor where we want the contents to go, click it one time, and then hold down the Control key once more, and click the letter V as in Victor. This will paste the contents to the page that you are now working on. It is already formatted the way you want from the non-publishable page. I call this my Scratchpad page. Now, we're going to create a new page to access our chatbot with, and we'll right-click our mouse button, or we can go up to Site Manager and click on Properties, either one. This will need to be left as a publishable page, but just don't forget to delete it before you publish your entire content to your website. The reason is you will need to be able to launch the web browser. You cannot launch a web browser in a non-publishable page. What we'll do is we'll go to the Miscellaneous tab in Page Properties and tell it to redirect to our AI website address. Then we'll give it the address of our favorite chatbot. I happen to like Copilot, Gemini, ChatGPT, and a couple others. But for this example, I'm going to use Copilot. This way, whenever I need help in content creating, spell checking, grammar checking, building a structure with keywords and key phrases embedded into my page, it can help me. This is a quick and dirty way to do it. I have a free account and Copilot, and it seems to give me the greatest amount of free time of all the AI chatbots I've used so far. Just remember to talk to it like a human, and be sure to give it very detailed information about what you are in need of. Now, I want you to understand is that the AI that accessible through what you see is what you get web builder is completely different than this demo. I'm just accessing this externally with a web browser as an extra tool that you can use in building your website. I want you to know that all of the AIs have a great deal of knowledge about this program. I was really surprised how much Copilot knows about what you see is what you get web builder. It can go even deeper into the subject that I'm going to. Before long you'll know everything there is to know. Probably more than you thought possible. I'm just going to play a little guitar music and I'm going to let you read what's on the screen from Copilot. It's going to tell you everything that you could possibly want to know and then things you didn't even know you wanted to know. As you can see, this is just a tiny sample of all the different things that these AI chatbots can help you with. Like I say, Copilot will hang in there longer, with a greater volume of content in the free editions, than the other chatbots will. Also, Gemini is an excellent one if you have a paid version, or if you choose the paid versions of what is built into the program to access to those external API engines. In order to access the AI APIs that you'll be using with What You See Is What You Get Web Builder, right-click your mouse button, come down to Page Properties, then click on the Meta Tag tab. Scroll down to the description box, and click on the link there. It'll open up a dialog box telling you you're going to need to be registered, and all that sort of stuff. But here's how to get all the information to do this. Click on the link and then OK. Here we're going to open up What You See Is What You Get Web Builder's website, with the information on artificial intelligence, frequently asked questions page. This page contains all of the information, step by step, how you can use the built-in API launcher for What You See Is What You Get Web Builder. Take your time and methodically go through the instructions. As you scroll through the pages, you'll also notice that there's a billing section. It shows you that if you only use a small amount of the AI APIs, you'll only pay a small amount. You use it a whole lot, then it'll charge you a whole lot. Please be advised that What You See Is What You Get Web Builder does not actually have their own AI engines, but they will utilize other engines such as OpenAI, Google's APIs, and if you have a large enough graphics card to run it, they'll show you how to use in-house AI generator. Of course, you will have to train your in-house AI if you choose to go that way. It'll take a little while to train it, and it's really not for the faint of heart. But if you like to play with gadgets like I do, it's a great tool. Still, I like to use things like Copilot, ChatGPT, Gemini, Grok, and the other AI chatbots as external tools. Well, the easier to use of the AI APIs is to go to Files, and come down to Create a new AI-generated website. They'll start off by opening up a dialog box, asking you for things like a Describe the Website Page Description prompting box, and then it'll go through step by step, until it realizes the type of outline that it thinks that you're going to need. Then it will give you a selection of templates which to choose from, and you can begin building a website using these templates. Of course, you have to have a subscription to one of the APIs to do this. And from the template, we can highlight the wording inside each of the areas which contains the wording, delete it, and paste in the wording that we're going to use for our website. You can also, of course, delete the pictures and insert your own pictures inside the framework of the template. Once you do this, you'll have your own website. Just remember that the templates that are built into What You See Is What You Get Web Builder are copyrighted by the company. So you can't use their wording or their pictures inside the templates. But you can use the outline framework, text frames, picture frames, in menu holders. Just replace the contents. Also, whenever you click on Help, under Index you can scroll down and ask about artificial intelligence. As you can see, artificial intelligence information is in the Help file, and it will explain to you additional information about how to use the AI in their program. They also provide links to pages within their website for things like background removal, transitioning, and other AI features. And, of course, this is for the AI API programs that you subscribe to. Now, if you want regular artificial intelligence, you can go to any of the chatbots and ask if they can help you with What You See Is What You Get Web Builder version 21. Of course, every one of them's gonna jump up and say, yes, what would you like to know? They have more information about What You See Is What You Get Web Builder than Web Builder's own website. It goes through every forum out there and looks for hints, tips, and tricks. The fact that we have AI available to us is a great tool. I still like the free editions, and I revert myself back to Copilot. Now, mind you, I am not making any money whatsoever from this tutorial, and I'm not being paid by anybody to mention these AI chatbots. I'm doing this so that you will know. I'm doing this strictly for you and the personal enjoyment of sharing information with you. Let's say, for instance, we want to tell a story on our website. A short story, perhaps. I'm working on one right now. It's about 400 pages long. It will be an audiobook with slideshow. AI chatbot helped me in its creation. We can tell our chatbot, here is the plan for my story. Help me build an outline, and help me with the dialogue. It will then begin to build and outline your stories for you. It'll ask you questions, and you'll answer them, and it will help you produce a dialogue that you can put on your website. It's free of charge and copyright free. As you can see, it starts off like The Legend Who Watches. This is my science fiction story, by the way, and then I tell it I'm going to need some pictures to go with my story. And it'll ask you things like, what style do you want in your pictures? And it'll go down through a list and you pick out one, and you tell it the direction you want it to go. So, as you can see, if you'll just talk to it like a human being, provided with enough information that it'll ask you questions, it will help you build your website, whether it be a commercial website, an amateur website like my own, a blog, informational website, or anything else. The secret behind it all is to tell the chatbot exactly what you want. If you need to think about it ahead of time, type it up in your word processor, read it over a time or two, copy it and paste it into the chatbot and submit. Believe me, it do amazing things for your website. Tell it that you need to tighten up, and that's an important phrase, tighten up your wording. Then you begin to tell the direction you need to build your site. Then merely cut and paste into your website. Before you know it, you have a magnificent website. A friend of mine down in Florida has a friend in Tennessee who is an insurance salesman. He uses ChatGPT Professional, and he has built over 480 pages on his website about insurance. So, you can see just how quickly you can obtain the content or your website. Now, here is a great thing about what you see is what you get web builder. Anytime you copy from the chatbot, you don't need to draw a text box to put it in. Just paste it, and wherever your mouse cursor is on the web page, it will paste it. Same thing with the pictures. This alone can help you really speed up the production and the quality of your website. And since you've told the AI to tighten it up, make sure that you have at the end of the production a sentence that you can put in the description box with all the right keywords and key phrases for what that web page is about making. This makes it search engine optimization correct. It will put you in the higher ranking of all the search engines out there. Now I'm going to show you the reason I just showed you how to use Copilot or other chatbots with your website and my story example. I had it help me with my dialogue, correct my grammar, spelling, etc. Also, I had it generate pictures for me. Now yours may not be a story. You may be building a description for a product that you're selling. The layout will be very similar in this example. I'm merely using a story I'm working on to provide an outline of how you can use wording and pictures to sell your products and other business-related business pages. I suggest using a word processor to write the information for your business or other related subject matter. It's a great idea because you can copy and paste directly into what you see is what you get web builder, as we're seeing here. I went and retrieved the picture, in this case, my story hero, but it could be something you're selling on Amazon. I went to my word processor, highlight the desired text, did a copy, came back, and I pasted it. Notice it automatically provides you with a text container. Now, all you have to do is reshape your text container in a X and Y style coordinate to look aesthetically pleasing alongside the picture of your product. Do not forget to double-click on your graphics and give a title to your picture and a description of the picture. This will enhance your SEO optimization as well as being compliant with people who are blind and who are looking through your website, who may be looking for a set of headphones. That's what you are selling. Then they can make a choice of purchasing your item. You launch your web browser and move your cursor over each and every picture and video on your web page. You will notice that it comes up a little pop-up window telling what is there, but it is also required nowadays for those who are blind and use a reader. That brings you up into the higher category of search engines. You'd be surprised how many people don't even stop to think about this, and then wonder why their web pages is on page 35 of the search engine. We go and grab some more text and paste. Now once you do this, you can edit the text and any of the text containers. You can also boldface and enlarge a font for a headline. Also you can add spaces, paragraph breaks, etc. Now one of the tricks I have learned about building websites is when you get to the bottom of your paragraph, hit enter. One time. Now hold down the Alt key and type in the number 255. This will give you a null character that is invisible. This will help you eliminate text frame overrun. By that you will the outline of the text container, and it will allow you a single space below it so that whenever you come up with the new text you won't accidentally overlap into the previous text frame. You'll find that to be a very handy thing to have. Your text frames is basically a word processor, so treat it like one. You can copy a sentence that you needed to go underneath your picture. But paragraph that you have goes too far down and leaves too much white space under the picture. Copy just enough of the text that it still looks aesthetically pleasing up to say the right side of your picture, then paste it directly under your picture and then reshape the frame to match your sentence structures. Now it is very aesthetically pleasing to your customer when they come to your page. Now it looks like a true word wrap around a picture. What you see is what you get. Web Builder does not have a word wrap around an object like pictures, videos, etc. Instead, you will need to do a little bit of cutting and pasting in order to simulate the word wrap feature. Also, don't forget to make good use of your ability to send a picture to the back, or bring a picture forward, that we recently learned about, located on icon toolbar at the top. You saw where we copied the existing picture, and went to Object Manager unchecked, after we pasted it back, and resized it and then sent it to the back, so that picture that was there would stay on top. Once again, this is a cascading style sheet engine that we're working with, so when you're working with breakpoint pages or even flexible containers, you'll still need to remember that you can bring objects forward and send them back. To speed things up, what I'll do a lot of times, especially on the mobile page, or cell phone pages they call it, I do a Control key and press the letter AF, which highlights everything. Instead of copying and pasting, I leave it highlighted. Then I go to the main page, which can be anywhere from 970 up to 1920 pixels wide, and look to see which items that I need to uncheck. Those will be highlighted when you do so. Now those objects won't accidentally appear on your primary page or your tablet page. Tablet pages and desktop pages work together very nicely. It's just when you go from your large desktop down to the cell phone range, you have to use the highlight an object, and then go back to the main page and find where it's checked off and uncheck it. That's the nature of breakpoint pages. With Flex containers you really don't have to worry with it very much, but you're limited in where you can place a picture or video. It'll either be on the left side or the right side primarily. Once in a great while you can get it to go to the center, but that is very seldom. This is the reason I am demonstrating primarily using breakpoint pages, which is the way a majority of professionals do it anyway. And finally, here we're working on our 320 pixel wide cell phone page, and now we're moving our text around to match the 320 pixel wide page width. Most of your cell phones today can handle page width of up to 480 pixels, but are very happily using 320 pixel. Also, now that cell phones have a lot more memory than they used to, pages of 3,000 and 4,000 pixels tall are not uncommon. I would not advise going beyond that because visitors have a tendency to get bored going that far down the page. Instead, they would rather hit the next page button than continue, rather than to scroll down the page any further. So, you might keep that in mind. Just remember, anytime you add an object to a page, it's gonna show up in the Object Manager on the other breakpoint pages. When you do something in a smaller size page, the object manager will always throw it down at the bottom. So, you can scroll down to the bottom of the object manager after you have gone back to the other pages, and you will see those highlighted. Just uncheck them, and they will be removed from the other pages. It will not affect the cell phone page at all. Also remember, it works in reverse. Put something on the cell phone page, it's gonna show up on the tablet and the desktop page. Okay, we've loaded our template/publication, and we're going to go to the non-publishable page. Here we are going to start building the fundamental outline of our web page, using the content that is on that unpublishable page. We will get our banner, all the pictures for the banner, the text for the banner, drop shadow bar, etc. Once we have the web page, the way we like it, we will then start making tablet and cell phone pages using breakpoints. Once we're finished with that, we're gonna go to clone a page located in the site manager in the top right corner. Then we will make as many pages as we think we might need for the website. We will also, of course, have our web browser-based AI ready to launch in the final page of the publication. So, you can see just how rapidly you can build just a basic outline for your website, using a non-publishable page that you saved out as a publication. We went into the unpublishable page, grabbed our banner, we resized it, we got banner shadow bar, placed it underneath the banner. Grabbed a globe, got a picture of myself, moved it in front of the globe, already had the graphic title for my website, so I grabbed it, and moved it in place, and pasted it. And ever since 1997, my trademark has been the flying goose over in the top right corner of the website. So you can see just how rapidly you can build basic page. Like I say, then you just add breakpoints, and realign different parts of the pages that does not align with the other pages by copying, unchanged decking, not deleting, but unchanged decking those items, pasting the new item in, then unchanged decking the new item from the other pages. Once we have that in place, duplicating the headers, and everything is a breeze, because all you have to do is go to Site Manager and hit clone the page. But before we do that, we're going to go ahead and populate our web page so that when we do start cloning, we don't have to sit there and chase down every page and repaste everything that we forgot to put on the page. As you can see here, the desktop and the tablet both corresponded well with each other. The give and take was unremarkable. But when we got down to the 320 pixel wide page, at this point, we had to go and resize everything. And then we had to go in and uncheck those objects, and repaste them, and put them in their place. Then we'll go to the other pages, the desktop and the tablet, and uncheck those items. Those items will be located at the bottom of the Object Manager checklist. Yes, it's a little bit aggravating in the beginning. Once you have the primary page produced, when you go to clone the pages, it's just a mere click of a button to duplicate it rather than have to do this over and over and over again. Once you get accustomed to this, doing this usually only takes about 3 minutes time. I just went a little slower for the demonstration purposes. Once we began cloning the page, there is no need to readjust anything. Now, one of the things I recommend, it's after you've made several pages of our website outline, is to save that out and call it by some other name. That way you can make additional pages in another topic area on your website. No sense in reinventing the wheel. And it's actually just this simple. Don't forget to use the right mouse button to engage page properties. There you will give a title to your page. The menu name, the very first one, is going to be index because all websites start with index.html with exception of certain specific types of websites. The file extension HTML, that is the de facto standard. Document to use HTML5. Unless you are using flexible containers of some kind, I would advise aligning your page to center. Of course, if you wish to make a non-publishable page, you would check off all of the don't publish this page, don't synchronize this page, don't include this page, don't include this page in the sitemap. Then we have page sizes. The default for years has been 960 or 970 for desktop sizes. However, nowadays the of a desktop page is anywhere from 1280 to 1920 pixels wide. Page the de facto on desktop sizes for page length is 1000. You can go as far as you want to, but people are going to start getting dreary-eyed if you go beyond 5 or 6000 pixels. You'll want to start a new page and have a next page menu button for them to click. Then next is the page languages, so you would pick out the language that you're going to author this website in. It gives you the ability to do left to right or right to left at a couple directions. The Style tab will allow you to pick out the topic of background, whether you want it be solid, graduate, pattern, or picture, and the picture would be your personal selection. Now remember, when you do that, the entire screen will be that picture. Of course, always just leave them normal because there's no sense in confusing your visitors. Default fonts usually Arial, Helvetica, Microsoft Sans Serif, and the default size is usually 12. Also, under styles in page properties, we want to go down to the middle and find defaults once again. Enable responsive fonts will check off that box. In the page properties under icons, you can use 16 by 16, which is the standard size for icons, or 32 by 32, which is optional, or 64 by 64, which is optional. There's a program out there called OpenView that will allow you to save pictures out its icons. You can define all 3 icons. Now, the neat thing about this is when your visitor comes to see your website, they will also see your icon. This is a big deal in search engines nowadays. Your icon will come up in the description of your website. The meta tags tab in your page properties, you have author, optional keywords. Google says no more, never use keywords. China, Russia, India, and one other country, I believe, still use these. Everybody else quit because Google says not to. The description box, this is really big. You will give a description of what your website is about, or that particular web page is about. When in doubt, write it up, pull up your favorite AI, paste it, tell it that you're trying to give a description of your website or this web page you're working on, and to make it the appropriate length with keywords and key phrases. Within a few seconds it'll be ready. You copy it from your AI and paste it into the description. This will help you in your quest for getting higher rankings in the search engine battle. Also, at the bottom, you'll see Open Graph and Twitter Card ask you to help you with that. You'd be surprised how much help it can be. Now, if using the paid subscription where they generate a description from content on page with AI, do that instead. But if you don't want to have to pay a subscription and just use the free version of your favorite AI, make good use of that free account. Under Page Properties of the SEO tab, you'll have robots, revisit after so many days, expire after so many days. In other words, after so many days, come back and look to see what that page has been designated as. Canonical URL is typically your main page. When in doubt, make good use of your AI about this. Ask it what a canonical URL is good for, and how you could use it. It will be a blessing to your website building strength. Under Page Properties, the Miscellaneous tab, in the second box down says Redirect. You have the ability to redirect, and it will give you the opportunity to paste a URL or use a relay link to the page that you want it to go. Generally, we default to 0, which is instantaneously go to that other page. And finally, at the bottom it says Artificial Intelligence. You don't need an account for this particular feature. Just click on Category and pick out a general category if you so desire. It's not required, but if it's something that's related to you, go ahead and select it and say OK. You have probably seen a number of fancy websites that have motion pictures in the background. So how did they do this? With What You See Is What You Get Web Builder is quite easy. What we'll do is, we'll go up to the HTML5 video player. I would highly advise you to place that on your icon toolbar. Pick out a video clip that is not more than 1 megabyte in size. Then draw the dialog box with the HTML5 player, and then select which video you're gonna use to play in your background. Usually, a video clip of 30 seconds to be looped over and over again is considered to be adequate. If the video clip is larger than 1 megabyte, there is a program out there called Any Video Converter. With Any Video Converter, you can shrink a fairly large video down to approximately 1 megabyte in size. This is adequate for both cell phone and desktop, and yes, it will work very well for tablet configurations. Once you've selected the video and have drawn it onto your page, double-click on the movie placement box. It will come up and say Media Player. After HTML5 video, you will see File Name. Here is where you will select the video file that will play in your background. In the second grouping box is Options. What you will want to check off is Autoplay, Loop, Mute Audio, Preload Media, and leave off Show Controls because you don't want your visitors to see the controls. Down at the bottom dialog box on the right-hand side says Aspect Ratio. Select 16:9. This will auto-adjust for you regardless of screen size using the 16:9 layout. We will launch our web browser and see what it looks like. This one is a Creative Commons videos I obtained, and it has green center at the end, so I use chroma key effects to create my second background image with a video editor. Of course, you don't have to go to anything that elaborate. There's plenty of Creative Commons videos out there you can use for your website. I just wanted to emphasize what you can actually do with What You See Is What You Get Web Builder. As discussed earlier, you can make non-publishable pages to add content for your pages, and so I created my own Russell one in a picture of myself, of course. Pasted those on top of the video, and now move them around to fit the narrative that I wish for particular web page. I'm satisfied with where the header is, but I'm not satisfied with where I place myself, so I'll shut down the web browser, come back to our web builder, and we will move the image of myself, in this case down, and over where I would like for it to be. I will stretch it, and shrink it horizontally, and play with it a little bit. Now we have it just the way we want. Then we launch your web browser, again to make sure it is where we would like for it to be in the browser. Once I'm satisfied with the size and placement of my picture, I'll go back into my non-publishable page and grab my signature along with a hand graphic. It makes it look like I'm writing my name. I will then come back, paste it just under the video, and under my picture. Now, let's launch the web browser yet again, and as we can, the header to our website is the way we would like to have it. It's just that easy. Okay, I'm going to now close out my web browser and my program, and I'm gonna go to my desktop. Now I am going up to Any Video Converter and introduce you the basics of the program. Please realize, you don't have to buy this, or even use if you don't want to, but I just thought I'd show it to you. This is so that you'll know that it's available as a tool to you as a web builder. Any video converter, I bought the professional version, has the ability to shrink a video down to a very small size. That way it's easily loadable and does not drag down your website. And, for the price of just a few tokens, it will create videos for you, pictures for you, and other additional tools that you might find of interest. I just wanted to introduce this program to you, as tool to be used in your website building adventures. So, now let's return to what you see is what you get web builder. Let's focus on changing our video. We've decided after a few weeks that we wanted a different video on our website. All we have to do is just double click on the video placeholder, and we will go to the location of our videos comply within the 1 to 1.5 of a megabyte, and pick out a new video. Again, the reason I say limit yourself to 1 to 1.5 megabyte is that cell phone, tablet, and desktops don't always have a full bandwidth to load larger files. Anything larger than 1.5 meg is gonna start slowing down your website and visitors will begin to leave. So keep this in mind. So, as you got it down around 1 megabyte, you're doing really good. Now we're going to change out our video and then launch it in our web browser to see if that is really what we're looking for. It never hurts to have a small cache of videos in the waiting to put up on your website. Of course, videos are not the only way of getting attention. We'll be getting into slideshows in a little while. Those are also fun to play with. You can put a video background on any web page on your website. You're not limited to this one web page in the entire website. You can do one on each and every page if that is what you really want. This comes in handy, especially for those who are building their websites about gaming or other technological associated blogs. Then this type of tool becomes almost a necessity. However, I would not drown a business website in these, because people are looking to buy products and not to watch a movie. So keep that in mind when you're doing your web design. If you will please take notice, every time I bring in a new video, it's going to bring that video to the front. So we always want our video to be our background, so we'll come up to the toolbar and click off send to the back, and in that way everything will be brought to the front, and now it will look like a website is supposed to look. Now that you've seen how I've done this a few times, it should be relatively simple. The types of video files that work best on websites today is .mp4 video files and .wep video files. The MP4 video files is the most often used type file this type of activity. We start by going to our toolbox and scroll down to layout category, then we look for flex container. Now draw out your flex container from one side of the page to the other. You will notice it has two sections. Let me demonstrate. I'm gonna grab an image and it will center itself. Then I'm going to grab some text and I'm going to put it in the flex spot, and what I'm going to do this time is, I'm going to put the text to the right of the picture, and that will push the picture to the left. Now if you want the picture to the right, you push the text to the left of the picture. Let's take a look and see how this looks in the browser. You can now adjust the size of the image and the text. You will also notice that sometimes the text is just a little too close to the image. What we can do is we can take a shape and draw a shape to act as a buffer between the picture and the text. Then we just select the color of the shape to match the background of our web page. You will notice that I have drawn two separate flex containers. This is to demonstrate you can have a header body and a footer that will be completely responsive to all screen sizes that comes and visits your website. I'm now going to sit down and write up some text and place next to our first image, the one that is the web author with the laptop. And then I'll take that text and I'll place it to the right side of the image. That's going to the image to go to the left. And you will notice that the text is very close to the image. This is the reason a lot of people like to put an extra border around the image. In other words, you've got the image, but they want to make a little larger white background, or other color or transparency to force the text to move further to the right. There's two different ways to do that, of course. You could expand the size of the picture giving a margin, or you can use a shape. Now the interesting thing is, on a shape you can use an image, so if you've got an image background you can just politely put that background into the shape and nobody will ever know the difference. I'm gonna do the same thing to the medieval warrior here, and I'm going to put some text into the container, and I'm on force the image over to the left side, and then the text to the right. Then we'll play with a little bit, and get the image to go to the right, and the text to go to the left. You can mix and match and whichever you want to do. But the biggest issue I personally have with Flex containers is, it dictates to you where the picture's gonna be. You can't just move it around, as you can break point pages. But that's the way all of your what you see is what you get style like Wix or Elementor and the other type of online editors do. You just can't put it exactly where you want it, it's gonna have to go into specified spot. But as you can see, if you use shapes that are the same color as the background, you can manipulate where the text and other pictures are gonna go. If you will notice, I took the text out and moved it down below the Flex containers, and then put my shape in place. Then I stretched it to the full length of the container, and then widened it to however much margin I needed, and then I brought the text back into the right-hand side. Notice, we now have a space between our primary picture and the text. We can do that to the body and to the footer as well. Please take notice of just what I've done. I've approximated the size of my image for my story I've drawn, and drawn out a shape, and made sure it was same color as the background. I stretched it, and made it the same size as the image, approximately put it in, and then I drag my text to the right side of that shape, and it squashes everything together, and now you have a body of pictures and text. This is the quick and easy way to do it. Now that we've opened our web browser, we can see that we have a proper space around our image, and the text flows approximately around it. It does not have true text wrap, but we can approximate it. Now notice I'm going to start minimizing my web browser to emulate different screen sizes. Notice how the wording starts moving and wrapping around the shape and picture. Also, the text mixed with the shapes, and the pictures all correspond with the size of the screen that is viewing it. To access blocks, we come over to View, and under the toolbars, you will see Blocks. If you notice, I didn't check it off, it's because I didn't have enough screen size to work with, so I left it as a sidebar option. All I have to do is just click on Blocks, which will be on the extreme left-hand side. It'll be written vertically, and it bring up all the blocks that have been pre-built for you. By the way, you can create your own blocks and save them back into the block selection. So now we clicked on Blocks. Let's scroll down and we can see that it has a very large number of different type of applications you can just drag and drop onto your what you see is what you get web builder page. They're almost like templates, if you want to call them that. We'll click on one that looks interesting, Call Features. This allows you to have a pre-structured menu system, and you just politely replace the pictures with whatever picture that you would like for it to appear. Now nothing on this page is an automatic clickable item, so the word web design you'll have to highlight it and go up to your URL icon, located on the toolbar, and give it a designated location. That way the word web design, social media, SEO, etc. becomes a clickable link. You can also do the same thing to the picture, by doing the same thing going up and clicking on the URL link. That way if they click the picture or description it'll be a clickable link. And this type of feature will work. But you can say there is many different layouts that you can choose from, and it's absolutely free of charge. Other people on the open forum of What You See Is What You Get web builder quite often their own blocks up to share free of charge with others. It is certainly worth your time to go visit the open forum on What You See Is What You Get web builder website. Let's go pick out an additional block and drag it and drop it onto our new web page. You will notice in blocks, unlike flexible containers, everything will be edited inside the block container feature. You can access this by double-clicking on, say, the picture or the text, and it'll pop up the dialog box in which you'll be working from. Now, this has the same idiosyncrasies as does a general flexible container. So, once you've gotten accustomed to playing with flexible containers, then the blocks will be a breeze to work with. Now, if you'll notice, this design contains a header and a two-column set of containers. You can do that with flexible layouts. All you have to do with a flexible container is right-click on it and go and select split it in half basically. And it'll make two, or however many sections inside that container that you wish. The same thing has already been pre-done for you in these blocks. That way all you have to do is just replace the text and the pictures with your own, and you've already got a pre-made template for your web page. You can use different blocks on different pages within your website without any conflict whatsoever. Best of all, they're a responsive page. And again, responsive pages automatically adjust pictures and text together to accommodate the screen size that's being viewed from. Now, I wish to show you the designs. This way you can get accustomed to it all. We're going to examine a single column instead of a multi-column this time. And like basically all you have to do is just double-click on the text box or the picture, and it'll open up the dialog box for you to make changes within the blocks. Don't be afraid to get in there and play with it. After you've done it a few times, it'll become second nature to you, and you'll go, wow, I wish I had this thing all along. Now, what you don't see on this particular block design is because of the white background located above the word design. You can double-click on it and insert a menu if you so desire. That way you've got a banner at the top and a set of clickable menus. Now mind you, again, all of this is responsive. And like I say, all you have to do is to make changes in any of the text boxes, pictures, videos, or other objects. It's just double-click it. This allows you to make the proper changes. For just fun and experimentation, I highly recommend you play with a number of these blocks that are available to you. I guarantee you a light bulb will go off in your head, and you'll say, wow, now this is the way to build a website. Now the next trick is putting one block under the next. So, you can have multiple layouts on a single page if you so desire. Now you've got power. Give it a try. I promise you will not be disappointed. One of the more powerful tools that WYSIWYG Web Builder has is what is called an HTML insertion box. This allows you to insert HTML, JavaScript, PHP, and other code into a website, and it will become instantly functional. One of the neat tricks you can do with AI is publish entire website using HTML code that was generated by an AI bot, or the APIs designed to use with WYSIWYG Web Builder. You present it with the name at the top, the type which will be HTML, default, direction, and then the HTML body. If you want to use the AI connected through WYSIWYG Web Builder, just click on Write Code with AI button. This will open up a new dialog box, and it will allow you to interact with the AI and help you build a website.
Now if you take a look where it says number 1, this is line 1 of HTML code. You can get an AI to write an entire website using a single container of HTML code. HTML code is the web's very first web page coding language. The only thing that you have to do is provide the AI with one of two methods. You can upload all the graphics that you're going to use to AI, or you can create a folder, or subdirectory as it's sometimes called, on your website, that contains all the graphics that you're going to use for your website. You will instruct the AI, this is where my graphics are located, and you will tell the name of each graphic, and what it's supposed to do, and where it's supposed to go. For example, dinner party. You will tell AI that the dinner party picture needs to go to the top left corner. Next we'll say golf clubs. You will tell that you need to put the golf clubs over on the right side of the web page after we talk about the dinner party because we're gonna start picking up the topic of golf. And you will continue on like that. It will then take the other information you have given it, and it will write all the HTML code that you will need, including all of the proper language, search engine optimization enhancements, keywords, key phrases, proper spelling, and create a perfect website. And I'm gonna show you a friend of mine that has done this.
I've asked my friend Randy Woody if I could show his website on this video, and he said go ahead. So what he did is he has a program called Elementor, which is a rather complicated program to use, but it has this one feature that what you see is what you get web builder also has. The HTML code insert box. Now he uses the professional version of ChatGPT. He told ChatGPT, I want you to create all the graphics for me, and I want you to look over my old website, and I want you to create me I'm no longer in business, I'm just retired, but I want to share information with everyone about insurance. I'm not trying to sell anything, I'm out of business, I'm retired, and doing to enjoy the good life. But he says, I enjoy sharing information with people, so that they will know what to expect in this world of insurance. So after he got through describing what he wanted, ChatGPT built this website for him. And it did. It provided the HTML code for the entire website in one HTML code snippet. Then it provided a list of pictures to download, and it told him what folder to put it into. He followed the instructions, and this is what he got. He didn't have to do any website building whatsoever. He said, well, I was paying $20 a month for ChatGPT anyway, might as well make some good use of it. So he has a purely for information only website. So you can see using chatbots such as ChatGPT, Gem, Grok, or other quality IR chatbots, you too can create a full-blown website in just a few minutes. This way, if you've got say 80, 90, or affiliate web pages to build, with a little practice you can have AI help you build each and every one of those websites, or landing pages, and put it in a funnel, have it search engine optimized, and you'll have a top-notch website that you can actually be proud of. Your chatbot, and it will provide you with some HTML code like you say here, and it will tell you where to download your graphics to in a folder or subdirectory as it's called on web servers, and you'll place the graphics in folder tells you where to go, paste the HTML and the HTML box and publish. Then upload the publication files from what you see is what you get web builder to your website. I would like to recommend an FTP program called FileZilla, Core FTP, or FTP Wanderer version 3.0 or above. Any of those three FTP, that means file transfer protocol programs, are file transfer programs that will let you copy things from your hard drive, flash drive, or other sources and upload it to your website. Launch your web browser, and there your website will be. Yes, it can be just that easy. Or if you prefer, use the AI API. In Web Builder version 21, both work very, very well. In order to access navigation cards, go to Toolbox, come down to Layout, and locate Cards. Click on the Card tool, and draw the dialog box out on the page. This will present to you the card. The card will have a header, a card title, the body of text, a separation bar, a navigation button, and a footer. Double-click on the header and it'll open up the card and you will see the header, text, secondary text, the divider, the navigation button, and the footer. Come up the header and double-click header in the card navigation dialog box. Or simply click Edit. Under the header dialog box you will the text box, and this is where you'll be putting in the name of the header. You'll want to pick out a color that the text will be because we're going to make a different background in just a moment. We will come over to font size and increase the font size from 10 to say 14 so that it will be attention-getting. Click on Style, and you will see the background color and the mode, whether it's solid, a picture, a graduate, or whatever. We're gonna make it green for a positive visualization. We are selected yellow for our text font, and then when we launch our web browser we will see that your yellow text and a green header bar. With the dialog box open, you can see the header, the card title, the body of text, the divider, the button, and the footer. And of course you can name the footer, or you can just not put anything in the footer, and it won't show up at all. If you click on the body of text, you can go to Style, and pick out a color around the frame around the card. Back to the button, double-click it, and it will give you the option to put in a web link on your page, or URL of another website. Also, there's a little pull-down menu that says, No follow, no index. This is so that whenever you are sending people to the other website, they won't be taking part of your search engine SEO credit score away from you. In other words, if you say, don't follow this link, don't catalog, that's strictly for the search engine alone. It will not affect the ability to go to another website. This is so that you can retain your SEO rating inside your own website. Failure to do so will give part of your search engine optimization credit rating to whoever you're sending them to. This is why no index and no follow exist. Let's go ahead and launch our web browser and see where this takes us. I had it go to Antenna Workshop, which is one of my web pages, and you can see it opens up and gives you the information about how to do calculations on antennas and stuff. So we know that the URL clickable button works. Once you play with this a few times, it will become second nature to you. It's a great way for categorization navigation on a website. Of course, buttons and pull-down menus and such is great for the menu like we're seeing here, of items with inside a specific category. So, now we can use cards for categories and navigation buttons for our topic within the category. This makes navigation relatively easy for your visitors. Keep this consistency, your visitors will be most appreciative. Also, you will discover that the cards have additional features should you wish to implement them. Let's take a look at just a few. Let's examine animation. We can animate the headers, the card title, the button, or the footer. We can even make a little magic with the text context should you want to do so. However, just remember that your visitors may grow tired of this very quickly, so keep that in mind as we go through this demonstration. You'll see what I'm talking about here in just a second. Some of these things can get rather wild. One of the things that a lot of people like to do is make a flaming or glowing top header, but whenever all cards on your main page are doing something, and they're all glowing, and they get out of synchronization, a lot of people will just walk away from your website. So it's always best to leave a nice neutral professional-looking navigational system on your primary page. Now, one of the things that you'll want to realize with using navigation cards is that clickable link navigation button's title is very important. You need to give it a very specific name. You just don't want to say click here. I did that. Then, I went and used one of these search engine optimization analyzing websites to see just how efficient I was. All of my buttons said, click here. You're going to reduce your search engine rating by about 20% to 30% by doing that. So whatever you do, be sure and give it a proper title. Once I corrected that, now I had a plus 10% ranking increase with Google and the other search engines. So whatever you do, please give a title to the button. Now, one of the next things I want to demonstrate to you is how to use flexible containers with your cards. You'll notice here whenever I a navigation card inside one of the flexible containers, that stretched it all out of proportion. Flexible containers are designed to hold 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 navigation cards. You can put one flexible container right below another, and I add on as many as you want. These of course are responsive containers, and they make the navigation cards equally responsive. Just remember that if you are going to use a responsive container on a page, that whole page is going to have to be a responsive container design, otherwise you're gonna need to use a breakpoint page layout. We'll go back to our non-publishable page, and use some cards that we pre-built, and we're going to put them on our landing page of our website. This way we can copy and paste as many navigational cards as we need. As you can see, I've already got 4 basic colors, but you can go in by double-clicking on the color and select yet a different color for however many different topics that you have, topics or subtopics for your website. Here you can see I've made 2 rows of navigational cards, and I allowed them all to be the same color that the previous row of cards was. This is one color scheme that we can go by, depending on how many subject matters that your website covers. Generally, a lot of people either go all one color, or they go the same color in each row, but one of them would be like computers for green, and computer peripherals in the second row of green. The red would be television sets, while the second row of would be add-ons like Fire Sticks, and Rokus, and that sort of thing. Then the next grouping of navigational cards would be a slightly different color. This way people go in and say, oh, okay, here's the primary set of articles, secondary set of articles, scroll down finding a different color, then they get accustomed to it. Okay, I know what color scheme to look for next time I come back. And some just pick a single color and go through the entire primary page or main page with a single color for all the different topics. There's no right way or wrong way, it's just giving you the option to make your website look a little more exciting. Now, we're going to look at some of the basic tools for what you see is what you get web builder. First, we'll go to our top menu, look for tools, come down, and look for extensions. Click on that tab, and in a few moments, it will populate itself with all the available extensions that you can plug into what you see is what you get web builder. There's a great deal of free ones, and there are some paid ones. When I purchased version 21, I went ahead and bought all of the extension packs, because I knew I was going to need them. As you can see, there's a green check mark by everything that I have installed. Not all the tools that are available will be used in common everyday web production, but if you're doing databases and shopping carts and other things, those are available for download and installation. If you'll notice to the bottom right-hand corner, whenever you click on what the extension is, it will tell you what it is and show you a picture if the picture is available. This will allow you to understand what you're going to install. If you have not already bought the add-on package that contains all the extra paid extensions, you can purchase them individually through Extension Manager. Just be sure and have your serial number handy when you do so. It won't let you install it unless you've got a serial number you can give it. Next, we're going to go up to our toolbar and look for Insert. Click on that. You'll notice that the pull-down menu shows a great number of tools to work with, and whenever you see the little side arrow, move your cursor near that indicator, and it will show you all of the things that you can use. You will notice that there is just overabundance of highly useful tools available to you. And the artificial intelligence, if you have subscribed to the APIs, it will allow you to use those tools to populate your keywording and key phrases that will be embedded into the description and the text of the body, and help you orient your pictures to reflect the category you're working with. They're fabulous tools, but again, the AI is subscription only. Don't forget that you can also use your free account with most of the chatbot AIs out there to help you accomplish the same thing. Also, not only can you add images to your web page with the dialog box at the bottom, but it has a whole list of suggestions of AI-related things that you can do with your website. I wanted to point out, and if you will look at the bottom item in the menu. Now, let's go all the way to the bottom where it says, what you see is what you get web builder extension. Slide your cursor over close to the little arrow, and it will bring up the extra pull-down menu. Please notice, I have, since I bought and paid for all the extensions, and also installed all of the free ones, I can use anything that's in this list at my beck and call. Some I may never use, but a lot of them I do. And I have them if I need them. It's got things like PayPal and a couple of the shopping carts that are primarily used in Canada and Europe. As you can see as I scroll down, there's an enormous amount of tools available to you at the click of a button. I've looked at all the other web building tools out there. While they are good, none can match what you see is what you get Web Builder version 21 in my personal opinion. I highly recommend that you go through each and every one of the toolbar items, File, Edit, View, Page, Insert, and everything else. Familiarize yourself with these tools so that you will become accustomed to using the program. Here we're going to learn how to install a YouTube player on our website. Come up to Toolbar, grab the YouTube icon that you have installed earlier, and click on it. It will allow you to draw a YouTube dialog box onto your web page. Double-click the YouTube player and it'll open up the dialog box of controls for the YouTube video you wish to play on your website. As you can see, it has quite a variety of options you can use. Just check off only those items that you're going to need for this particular video that you're gonna play on your website. Also, whenever you go to a YouTube video, you can click on Share and copy and bring that in and paste that into your URL address bar. Paste it. Then click OK. A lot of people think that the YouTube player is broken, but it is not. The reason is YouTube changes its anti-hacking security protocols into the player every 2 or 3 weeks. So it's not broken, so when you go to your web browser and click on play and it says, oh, there is an error, it's not broken. I'm going to show you an example. We will look at one of my YouTube videos and publish our web page to a folder I call test. Then we're going to open up our web browser and play the video. As you can see, whenever I play the video, it works just fine. Also too, I've noticed some of the TikTok videos are starting to get newer embedded security codes, which recently the United States has requested a TikTok. So no, what you see is what you get. Web Builder's players are not broken. They keep them up to date on a continuous basis. So don't panic. As you see as I play the video from YouTube, I've set it up for desktop, tablet, cell phone. It becomes responsive to all 3 sizes. Okay, you say that's great, but how do I get my video up to YouTube? I'll show you the easy way to do it. If you'll notice, what you see is what you get. Web Builder also provides a link to FTP Wanderer on their website. But it's version 1.0. You have to really dig through their website to find version 3. Version 3 is the best one. What we're going to do is go up to our icon toolbar and select YouTube. We're going to click on that. We're going to draw out our YouTube placeholder. We're going to double-click it. Then we're going to go to YouTube and find Share. Click on that, copy the URL, then come back to our what you see is what you get Web Builder. Paste the URL into the URL input box and say OK. Now we're going to go up to the Publish button and tell it to publish to a flash drive. You can do it to a hard drive or external hard drive. It doesn't matter. But anyway, I publish it to my B drive and I save the publication to my A drive. Your computer probably don't have an A and B drive. That was a holdover from floppy disk drives. I just assigned the drive letters to 2 different Samsung flash drives. Works great for doing temporary work. Then, I go to my favorite file transfer protocol program called FTP Wonder. Now you can use FileZilla, or Core FTP, or any of the other fine FTP programs out there. I've already have a folder called Test, so and click on the FTP program, go to my test folder, which is on my website, and delete the contents, and then I'm gonna upload the contents off my flash drive up to the website in the test folder. Then we'll go and open our browser and type in the address, and you'll see the YouTube program will work just fine. Now you don't have to have an A drive or a B drive. That's just me. Whatever drive letter your computer assigns the flash drive, when you plug it in, it's just fine. Me, I'm a tech type person, and I love to do stuff like that. So that's all there is to it. You plug in a flash drive, or an external hard drive, or find a folder on your hard drive and make a folder, and publish the files there. Using a flash drive just happens to be a little simpler. Then use your favorite FTP program, FileZilla, Core FTP, or FTP Wonder, or one of the other good FTP programs, and just upload it to your website. Okay, now we've uploaded the published files to our website in our new folder. Let's go to the web browser and see how it looks. And as you can see, it actually works. It's not broken at all. More and more of public video outlets are starting to add additional security, making it impossible to play locally on your PC or laptop, but once it's published you can clearly see it. This is another one of my little short stories that I created, so we can see it works quite nicely. And really that's all there is to it. When you get through building your website, you go to the Publish button, publish it to flash drive or external drive of some kind, or a folder on your hard drive. Then take your favorite FTP program and upload it from the file location to your website. Open your web browser, go to the designated URL, and there it is. In version 21 they finally upgraded the FTP program. Instead of publishing it directly to a flash drive, we're going to publish it directly to a folder or subdirectory destination on our website. We're going to go in and click on Edit under the URL and then designate it to the website and the folder that it's going to publish to. Now we're going to use the pull-down menu and we can select to publish the whole website, or we can publish, say, a subcategory to a folder with all of its little subfolders or subpublications. This is what a lot of people are choosing to do. It is not recommended to publish the whole website with greater than 40 pages at one time. The reason is there's so many hiccups on the internet nowadays that a slowdown or temporary glitch somewhere down the line can corrupt the entire system. So publish one section at a time. You can publish a single page if that is all you need to update something. It's all in the pull-down menu. You can safely upload an entire category like, say, computers. And inside that topic you could have desktop, laptop, monitors, software, AI, etc. So if you've got roughly 40 pages, that's safe to publish all at one time. If you need FTP more than that, I suggest publishing one section of that topic at a time. Anyway, so you can use the pull-down menus to help you do this. You can even back up your publication to a zip file. It gives you that option, which is newer and more powerful option than before. Well, it doesn't work exactly like FileZilla or Core FTP, but once you play with it for a little bit, you will soon get used to it. The nice thing is you can upload a single page of information, or a subcategory, or an entire topic area. The only real difference here is, unlike FileZilla or the others, you'll be creating additional image file folders for each publication, and even that single page. This sometimes can become confusing. That's why I highly suggest using an external FTP program. But if you're just going to publish a small website, this is a perfect FTP program for you. If you're looking to build a large store or affiliate programs with massive number of pages, use a standard FTP program, please. And basically that's all there is to the built-in FTP program. While a lot of people love to use cards for their navigational system, only because it includes a header, a description, and a clickable linkable button. But sometimes whenever you've got a large number of them, they seem to run together. Your visitors will become disgruntled if you have more than 5 or 6 navigation cards. The way I came up with a system to get around this is I can put pictures, navigational buttons, and a text inside the shape that is an explanation of where this link is going. Now people love that sort of thing, and that is what navigation cards tries to do, but sometimes it spectacularly fails. Also to the some menuing system attempts to do this, but you've only got enough room for maybe 6 or 8 words at the very most. Then you run out of room. What I did in my non-publishable page, I took a shape, and then I made a graduate background, then made my header 18 points, and then my text about 12 points. Then I can go in and get a free navigation button out of the extensions tool under Tools. I chose glass button for our example. Just like the navigation card, the background is not linkable, nor are the pictures that I paste on top of the shape. Though you can do it if you so desire, but here in this example we will make the navigation button linkable. Just remember to make everything search engine optimization friendly. In the shape give it the description, in any picture the description and navigational information, any text you put inside the shape is automatically SEO ready. Now whenever click on the button it will take them wherever you want them to go. Just don't forget to use the ability to open a new instance of the web browser if you want them to be able to come back to this particular page if it goes outside of your personal website. I group all my items together using a group tool, and I group them together. If you will notice that I using a tool called group and ungroup. If you remember whenever we were installing the icons that represents the tools on our toolbar, we added this to the toolbar. This is very handy to be able to group items together and hold them together. When you do that only the items that you have designated as linkable will be. The whole thing won't be linkable unless you want them to be, which is easy because the shape and buttons have URL entries. On pictures, use the URL linkable tool. Alright, we're going to go ahead and make our button go to my personal website, and then we're going to group it and launch our web browser. The nice thing is, you'll be able to change the color of the button. As I move the mouse cursor over the button, it changes colors of the font, and so people knows. Okay, this is the link, so they click on it, and then they go to my website, or wherever it is you want it to go. Now you do this with all of your major navigational, I guess you would call it personal cards, for a lack of something better to call it. Now, you can make the background of the shape any color you want, or not any color at all. Just have a bordered outline, and a drop shadow under miscellaneous. Just remember to use only enter shadow to go negative numbers. You give it that 3D effect, and you can put little pictures in it and everything, and people will just love it. The fact is, when I go back to rebuild my website after I get through with this video, I'm going to use this exact system for all my major navigation. This way I can explain to people on multiple lines what I'm up to, and they don't have all these multicolored headers and everything that distracts and sometimes irritates people. Using this method is search engine optimization friendly. The search engines can read every word inside the card, which is nothing but a shape. Be sure to give all graphics, like buttons and pictures, the description and the title, and you will have a really good looking and fully functional website. This is just a suggestion. You don't have to use it, but I thought I'd share this with you. The navigation cards, which is located under Toolbox, you have to scroll about halfway down to find it, but when you will find cards, click on it and then draw the diagram into place. If you double-click on anything on a card, you can fill out everything that it's required to make a card fully functional. I decided that these shapes, along with the navigation button, were a more attractive type navigation system. It looks like a navigation card in a way, but it doesn't have the top colored title. As you have seen, whenever I was building homemade navigation card, that it is about half as much work, and rather simpler than working with the card itself. One of the nice things I can say about using our homemade card is we can change up the buttons and have any design that we wish. In fact, if you go once you're a registered user, you can go to the What You See Is What You Get web builder website and download 400 buttons in a zip file. Unzip them into a folder, and you've got just about anything that you possibly want in the way of navigational buttons. But as you can see, too many of the standard cards, even if you change up the header colors, become irritating sometimes to look at. In fact, I've discovered about 50% of the visitors to a website don't like that style of navigation. They do, however, like the style in which we've just created. The whole purpose behind this demonstration is aesthetics. You want it to be aesthetically pleasing to the eye of the visitor. You don't want them to come and go, well, it is a nice website, but even with cards, which are considered to be professional, you just don't have the ability to group together pictures and things of that nature to be pasted on top of your navigation card. I've done a great deal of experimentation with this type of navigation, and this one seems to be the most aesthetically pleasing design that actually works well. All you have to do is remember to group it together. If you don't know where to look for, this is located at the top of the navigation under Arrange. Then scroll down to Group or Ungroup. As I demonstrated earlier in this video, how to place this tool onto your toolbar. It's gonna be really helpful in a lot of ways in the future. Once we've grouped our navigation button with our shape, then all we have to do is launch your web browser after we published it to our website directly using the built-in FTP, or to say a flash drive or a folder on your hard drive like I have, and upload it. You're ready to go. As we launch your web browser, we can see it takes us to Antenna Workshop. It is part of my website, and then just use the traditional rollover navigation buttons for the rest of the navigation on your website. What you're really after is to get the attention and have your visitor and have them fully understand what you're offering them. After that, any kind of button navigation is traditional and fully accepted worldwide. I've gotten to the point that what you see is what you get. Web Builder is the only tool I use to build a website with. After using everything else, I just moved all those over to one side, and this is one I've chosen. As you can see, I have placed my images over to the left side, and I drew my text box over to the right, and then filled out the text box. I moved them close together, and then tested them in my web browser. Once I have it the way I wanted it, I would then publish it to either flash drive, hard drive, or if you wanted to, you could use FTP program built into the What You See Is What You Get web builder. Myself, I still prefer an external FTP, like FTP Wanderer version 3 or above, FileZilla, and Core FTP. But anyway, you can see I built a rather large variety designs, and navigational cards would not be to our advantage in this type of navigation. Traditional buttons, however, is just right. I am going to talk about some of the quirks, auditing the workarounds for these, and some of the useful things that What You See Is What You Get web builder can provide that no other website building program out there can do. We'll go ahead and make the banner for our page. We'll leave it default 970 because it actually looks really good on a 32-inch monitor, 27-inch monitor, and a 24-inch monitor. Also, all of your laptops, it looks good. We're going to take our ranch background, and we're going to grab a horse, and we're going to bring him up to the background. Then we're going to go get a picture of a board, put that board up in front of the horse where we only see about the top parts of his eyeballs and his ears popping up. Now, what I've done is, I put it in a paint program, and I've cut out just the horse's face, and adjusted the head itself is a transparent PNG file, and then I posted that head in front of the board, and then resize and reposition it to where it overlays the horse that is behind the board. Now, it appears as if the horse's head is hanging over the board. Like I say, this is one of the tips and tricks that no other program out there to date can perform. I've tried most every one of them. Now, I've spoken about this earlier, but I can't emphasize it enough. Whenever you're using breakpoint size pages, which has been the de facto standard for many years, whenever you say, okay, I want a mobile page, 320 pixels is the default standard for Google, and it looks good on a 480 wide pixel screen as well as a 512 pixel screen. I found that most laptops and tablets can easily display the 970 pixel wide display. So, two sizes is really about all you need, unless you're going after very specific audience. You'll notice that whenever go to resize some things, it does not affect it on the primary page, but when you come back to mobile page and you resize some of the other items and you go back to your desktop page, you're going to notice that it is also resized on the desktop page. That is a quirk of what they call cascading style sheets. Basically, just keep in mind, the object that you need to resize, just copy, and don't forget to Control-C is for copy, Control-V as in Victor is for paste, and if you want to highlight everything to be copied, it's Control-A. So just remember those three items. So we're going to copy the picture, but we're not going to delete it. We'll go to our object manager and uncheck it. Then we're going to repaste it onto our mobile page, resize it to the size we need, put it in place. Click on it one time, then go to the desktop page and look for that item, and it's usually highlighted at the very bottom of the object manager 99.5% of the time really. Just uncheck it, and it'll go away on the desktop page. It'll still be there on the mobile page and vice versa. Then basically you just kind of massage all the different components of your web page and mobile page from that point. So, at any time you have a conflict in sizing, just go to the mobile page, copy it, uncheck it, repaste it, resize it, click on it once, go back to the desktop, uncheck the item, and 99.5% of the time it's going to be at the very bottom of the object manager. Also, don't forget about text art. This is where you can make beautiful and artistic type headers for your website. The nice thing about it is already SEO ready, and so you don't have to worry about hunting down titles and descriptions and all that sort of thing. Of course, whenever pasted on a desktop, it's gonna look funny on a mobile page, so just make a copy of it on your mobile page, uncheck it, paste a new one in place, and resize it, and go back to the desktop, and go down to the bottom of Object Manager, and uncheck it. It's basically that simple. Originally, cascading style sheets was designed for desktop sizes only. But in today's environment, we also do it for mobile pages and tablet pages. As you can see here in my example, I deliberately resized it on the mobile page, and then went back to the desktop as a demonstration of what I'm speaking of. So, we resize on the desktop, we come back to mobile page, now make a copy, we uncheck, we place a new copy in place, resize it, reposition it, then we go back to the desktop, come down to the bottom of Object Manager, and uncheck the mobile pages version. Also, please don't forget that it's not just graphics and web page banners, but it's text boxes and everything else. So, keep that in mind, so whenever you go to resize it on a mobile page, it's going to affect it on a desktop page. So it's kind of a back and forth type job, but once you get the hang of it, you can make a beautiful website. Another quirk: this is a cascading style sheet issue. Yes, this is a cascading style sheet type system. It is designed to make things more responsive to different size screens, and no one's ever been able to figure out how to get around it. So, you just have to play with it. We can create our navigational system ahead of time, and store it on our non-publishable page. Copy it, bring it to the main page, and paste it. Now, it's great for the desktop to be horizontal, and we make all of our changes and everything. Now we go to the mobile page, and it's horizontal. But that's not what we want. So, we tell it go vertical. Well, the desktop is now vertical. We don't want that on the main page because we're going to use navigational cards or other menuing systems. So, we go back to the mobile page. We make a copy of it, we paste it, and then tell it horizontal, and uncheck the original from Object Manager. But anytime we update on the main page, it does not update on the mobile page, and vice versa, because it's a copy. So, anytime that you have to go with a vertical menu on mobile page, and for aesthetics purposes, we go horizontal on the desktop and the tablet page, you're just gonna have to have two separate navigational menus. They are the same, but they are gonna be copies of one another, and so a copy of one will not update with a copy of the other. Frustrating, yes. Doable, yes. Just remember this whenever you're updating your main page, and then you go to your mobile page, you're gonna have to update it as well. This is just quirk number 2. Quirk number 3. Anytime you use breakpoint pages or other styles of web pages, should you introduce a flex container of any kind, it will not be compatible with those style web pages. It's either flex container all the way or nothing at all. I'm going to demonstrate here the frustration you will have if you attempt to do so. This is just another quirk. You cannot mix flex container technology with cascading style sheet technology. The two clash and want to fight for supremacy. It's going to be one or the other. Now, on one page you can have breakpoint pages, and on a completely separate page, you can have flexible containers. And that does not hurt a thing. But we can do both on the exact same page. As long as they are on two separate pages, everything is perfectly fine. No problems at all. You just cannot introduce both on a very same page. As you can see, whenever I launch my web browser, It didn't appear to affect anything. This is because it was empty. But once I started to put an object like text into it, then all of a sudden, when we launch our web browser, we can see that it's going to fight for supremacy and go to the very top and to the right. That's just the way things are. Now, I have seen people put the flex containers on top and down below use breakpoints. But in certain instances on some tablets, it looks horrible, and on some cell phones, it looks even worse. So the two technologies just will not work together on the very same page. It always has to be on a separate page. Now, your main front page can be a breakpoint style page, and then you can have, say, 5 or 6 flexible container pages. That's wonderful. But you're gonna learn real fast you cannot mix the two technologies. The basics behind what you see is what you get. Web Builder is a cascading style sheet engine. They added flexible containers to it because the demand for flexible containers was so great. So like I say, it's going to be either flexible container or breakpoint style responsive web pages. We're going to look at using PayPal and Shopify for just a moment. It's very simple and very straightforward. You go to Insert and come down to E-commerce, and it will give you PayPal options. Also, there is a shopping cart, and a shopping cart is not a PayPal, but a credit card button that it is one that you would use with a credit card processing company. And the other one at the bottom is an experimental one, as of the date of this broadcast. Also, if you want to use Shopify, you can go to Tools and look for extensions and download Shopify from there. To access Shopify again, go to Insert, and you can see I have a lot of tools downloaded from the extensions website. Now, you're going to scroll down for quite a while until you find Shopify. You've got 2 buttons. One is Product, and the other one is Checkout button. The way you use these shopping carts is, it's just by double-clicking the button, and there is the menu. Inside each one of these buttons has the information that you will need to fill in the information in accordance to PayPal or Shopify's instructions. So, if you want to build a bunch of products, you put your product over on the left side, then you get a text box and give it a description, and then right below the picture, you would go grab a PayPal or Shopify button and put it underneath the picture. Double-click the button and fill in the information inside the button. After double-clicking that button, always look to see if there's an extra tab at the top once you've double-clicked these buttons, because sometimes they have some extra information they want you to plug in. So be careful whenever entering information that you don't do just half the job, that you do the complete job. It's a fairly simple and straightforward process. Just as the old saying goes, rinse and repeat. Then you can create a separate page and call it Checkout page. And then you can check out, or you can have a checkout button at the bottom of the existing page. And tell you the truth, that's just about all there is to tell. They made it very simple and very straightforward. At first it may seem a little daunting to look at. You can even choose the color of the button, the inside colors, outside colors, etc. as you saw in the pull-down menu. This gives you the ability to be creative. But keep it simple, your customers will appreciate that. And with this you can build a complete store should you choose to do so. The main thing to keep in mind, as you can see in the PayPal button, there's several tabs at the top, and you need to go and check out each and every one of those and fill in whatever information they require. Otherwise you won't be able to complete a transaction properly, and you might lose the sale. So keep that in mind, as well as there are several pull-down menus within the program. Always familiarize yourself with these as well. The PayPal button is great for selling digital products. So if you're an amateur photographer and you've gone out and you've taken a lot of pictures and they decide, hey, I'd like to buy the rights to use that picture on my website or in my video or whatever they are doing with it, and charge him for $5 for the picture, give them full rights to use it, and sit back and make some money. I know somebody that's in the process of building just such a website. I know a man that has over 10,000 pictures he has taken over 40 years, and now he wants to sell them online. This is exactly how he's going to go about doing it. He said he's gonna charge anywhere from $3 to $5 a photo for it. They are all excellent pictures and they are of just about of every subject you could possibly think about, every photo you could imagine down the old Route 66 pathway. It's a good way to make some side money. So if you got a new idea, new product, will it be digital, or something you have manufactured yourself, or you're doing resale as a wholesaler, this is an excellent way to do things. Either by PayPal or Shopify, or if got a large amount cash flow coming through a credit card company that will process your sales. Just beware of those kind of deals. They expect you have a certain dollar value each month. If you fall below that, then they close your account and keep your money. I don't mean the money that's owed to you. I'm talking about the money you paid out to have the shopping cart. I ran into that several years ago and learned very valuable lesson. So PayPal and Shopify are much safer. Let's take a look at a finished product. The website I'm rebuilding is my own, Roselle 1. Now the normal convention is to have H1 size lettering on the first line, H2 size lettering on the second line, and H3 size lettering on the third line, or a mixture of H3 throughout the page's subject headers. Either method is fine. This is search engine optimization. Sometimes it depends on a video card that your H2 will look the wrong size. The way you fix that is, you highlight your H2 wording, then size 20 points, then go back over and click on H2 again, and it'll stay put. Just another quirk in the cascading style sheet designs. Doesn't matter if it's this program or another, they all do it. One of the best things you can do for yourself is, after you created your main page, and after adding a 320 pixel breakpoint for your mobile page, is always go back just before you make a final save. Make sure that all the wording is not all jumbled up. Make sure that there's proper spacing between the text boxes. I highly recommend that you make multiple text boxes, rather than try to make one big text box for your web page. The reason is, you're going to want to be able to move and resize and reshape your text box to accommodate additional graphics. Next, we're going to look at a web page that we saved out called template. The nice thing is, all you've got to do is load template, then save it out as the new page name. You've already got a non-publishable page with all your graphics and navigation buttons and everything that you've loaded onto it. And then you can rapidly build your web page, as we saw earlier in the rapid page build section of this video. You would use this homemade template to build all of the web pages for your website, because you've already got your banners and everything else pre-made, so there's no sense in reinventing the cart. Next, we're going to look at my email page. What I did is, I used the HTML tool under Toolbox to open up a dialog box to put a PHP code into it, so that I could project an email address that I wish to send it to. You can find these email PHP codes for free all over the internet, or you can have an AI make it for you. Or, if you prefer to send it to an email company that will capture visitors' email, and then put them on an email list. Yes, you can do it that way too. I just wanted to show you all the kind of options that are readily available to you. Like I say, all you have to do is do a Google search for PHP email programs for websites, and it'll pull up a whole bunch of freebies, as well as some that are paid. The nice thing about these PHP email programs is, you go to Forms, draw out your forms, then look at the HTML code for those forms, copy it, paste it into the HTML box, and it works beautifully. Next, we're going to go to a web page I called Antenna Workshop. Here, I've introduced all the formulas for all the different types of radio and television communications antennas. I give a basic diagram of what the antenna is to look like, using a graphic of the antenna, and then a text box containing the textual information for that antenna. Very simple, very straightforward, but as you can see from what we've learned earlier, this is quite easy to do. Being an old ham radio operator, I keep my license current, even though I don't talk on radio much anymore. I was always interested in seeing how far out I could talk. So, I was always interested in antennas. So, I designed a website I call Antenna Workshop. Here, I give a picture of antennas, and the formulas to build those antennas. Now as you can see, what I've done is, I've taken the graphic of an antenna, put it over on the left side, and then I put all my text over on the right side. Now we can do this with either breakpoint pages, or a flexible container. Either one will be just fine for the information page. However, if you're trying to create a different look, the breakpoint page, which has been the de facto standard of the industry for years, is an easier way to place graphics where you want, and text where you want. Also, you'll notice that I can highlight a word, or series of words, and then come up and change the color. It's up to bold, italic, you'll see the letter A, and a color bar underneath. That's where you change the color. The one next to it is the highlight color, so if you want to highlight that a different color, you can do so. Basically right now, I'm just going to kind of cruise through these pages to show you an example of what you can do. So, go to Toolbox, grab a picture, place it where you want it, grab a text box to put your text into, draw it out, put your text and move it around. Don't forget, you can use multiple text boxes to kind of jimmy the words around a picture to give it a word wrap-like effect. Your visitors will like that sort of stuff. In some of these examples, I'll have more than one picture, and I try to make it look more like a catalog than I would a web page per se. The reason is, people are accustomed to this kind of layout. So, I have all my pictures in a row, in another. Don't forget, you can use this separate text box from the other text to highlight a word, or just a short sentence, make it a larger size like an H3, or whatever font size that you desire, and make that a subheadline for what you're about to speak on. I would say the biggest thing that you need to remember is take the multiple text boxes and work them in to where it has the illusion of being word wrapped around a picture is created. Another example I'm gonna show you, just a common web page, but it has a link on it. All you have to do is drag your mouse cursor across the word that you want to link, then come up to the pull-down menu, where it says Format. Right underneath that is a link icon. Click it, it'll bring up this dialog box, and you can enter the user relay link, and you can have it open into a brand new web page, or, if you wish, or open up the very same browser. Basically, all you really have to do is create a series of text boxes and fill in the text that you would want to put on your web page. Drag and drop the graphics wherever you need. Notice where it says change your mind or light on its feet. All I did was highlighted boldface it and give it a new font size. These topic, or should I say subtopic, is a text box island to themselves. One of the things I wanted to touch base with you about is using a smart link. What we do is, we go to Site Manager, and on the page that we're on, we'll just click on New Page, and it'll make a child page directly under that page. Then we go to that page, and we go to Miscellaneous, and pick out Redirect, and give it Redirect URL. Then right-click our mouse button, go to Page Properties, and give it the smallest page size that we can, which is kind of over to the right side slightly of the dialog box, where it says Predefined Page Sizes. Pick out the smallest one, that way it loads faster. That way, whenever they click on the link on the main page, that it will open up a new web browser instance, and take them directly to the page that you want them to go to. The reason I like doing it this way is, a lot of people don't want you to have your affiliate commission, even though it doesn't cost them any more. People are just that way. So, before they can stop it, it's already on its way, and they can't do anything about it. Except for Control, Shift, Delete, and delete all the cache in web browser. A lot of times your affiliate links will have a trailing 1 pixel, and it will be a 1 pixel clear.gif file, and it is a tracking element that is used by a large number of affiliate programs. This is a wonderful way to hide that fact so that way you can get your affiliate commission. I'll touch base with some of the API stuff. We'll go to Insert and then come down to AI Layout and Content. Click on that, and it'll say Generate a layout with AI. Describe how your web page is to look, and what it should do. And it'll tell you which features it'll need, and if you need an image, and they also have a help design built in. You can select an image down close to the button, and when you get through to say Generate my website, then give it you a layout, and it'll be full of gibberish, and a graphic that you're not going to use, but what you do is you replace the wording in the graphics. Pretty nice. It says a hero selection. Then it also adds a couple columns with text and images. A featured selection with 3-column grid of cards. That's navigational cards, of course, and a call to action selection. The center is applied and they'll have a go to button. Basically, a hero section is your headline. They could and should have said that, but that's the new way of doing things. Now there's a suggestion pull-down menu, and it will give you some AI prompts for the AI to generate these pre-done templates. And it even has a prompt manager. So you can add prompts to it if you need to. Now this is all great and fine if you want to use APIs to help you build it, or you can build it yourself and have absolute control over what doing with your website. In other words, just let AI tell you what to do, and that way you're satisfied with what you're doing. This is the reason I like to use an external AIs like Copilot, Gemini, ChatGPT, and all the rest. Now here's the interesting thing. You can have an app on PC. I like to use Copilot, of course. That's been my favorite here recent because it helps me write stories. So I've got the app on my taskbar, and I've got a microphone. I hold down the Windows key and press the letter H as in hotel. So then I start talking in the microphone and telling Copilot I need a header for my website, and I'm running what you see is what you get Web Builder version 21. And can you help me build my web page? And I'll tell it exactly what I want and everything, and it'll build it. Then I need body content. I've already drawn the text box. Tell me what I need to say in this text box, and make it so that'll make sense to my viewers. And it will sit there and take off running. Sometimes it kind of overdoes it a little bit, but that's okay. We can always edit it down a little bit. And same thing with the footer. Now if you want to do it all by yourself, of course, it will walk you step by step in what you need to do, and it'll let you do it yourself using these procedures. It's a very patient teacher. The free version works great. Paid version, of course, will let you do a whole lot more. But try out the free version first and see what you think. You may like Gemini a little better. You may like ChatGPT a little better. Everybody has their personal preference with using AI. But a lot of times, I'll just tell it to go and create graphic, then give me some text that I can put in my header, and this is what my website's going to be about. Or web page. And I'll happily run off do it for you. You just copy and paste. Just remember Control-C copies, Control-V as in Victor pastes, and Control-A selects everything. So those are the 3 basic commands you just have to remember, and those are Microsoft Windows commands, by the way. But then again, that's your choice, and if you're a beginner, the API may be the way to go for you. But if you go through this video in time or two, you'll pick up the knickknacks that you need to build your website with. Once again, our page properties can be obtained by clicking our right mouse button. Come down to Page Properties and click the prompt. It will open up the Page Properties dialog box, and you'll have General, Styles, and all the rest. We're going to focus on general right now. First is a title. A title should have between 30 and 60 characters in total. More than that, the search engines will cut off the last part and truncate the end, and you will not rank as well as if you kept it within 30 to 60 characters. The next is menu name. First page is usually index. HTML is because that's the default for the all website pages of every website or subdirectory website. The next is going to be ball extension. There's two types. HTML is 90% of everything that's out there, and the highly specialized pages have PHP, and some of your really old websites have HTML. But either HTML or HTML will work just fine with what you see is what you get web builder. Okay, the next is document type. HTML version 5 is the default, and I would just leave that alone. Next is page alignment. I would center my website pages unless I have a flexible container on a page. If it has a flexible container, I just leave it alone. Just don't make any changes to it. The next, of course, is our don't do selection, and usually we just leave this alone unless we're gonna make a non-publishable page or specialized need. Next is page width. Usually, 960 to 970 pixels wide has been the de facto standard for years, and still is. Though a lot of people are now experimenting with 1280 pixel wide and 1920 pixel wide. But unless you've got an up-to-date video card on your computer, you're not gonna get it all. So, you've got to think about some of your people out there using an old PC. So, assume that people are going to have an older computer, because people that's not living in the United States are still running Windows 7 and Windows 8. A lot of their video cards are the ones that's built into the motherboard, and so you need to be kind to those viewers. So, I usually just leave page width alone, and you can resize the page height according to the height of your web page. The character width, I would pretty well leave alone cause that's the de facto standard. Page language is whatever language that you're going to write it in, and you've got a pull down menu so you can do left to right or right to left depending on the language you're working with. Next, we're going to focus on meta tags. You'll want to fill in the author, which will be your name, of course, and we're going to avoid keywords like the plague. The reason is Google, Yahoo, Bing, DuckDuckGo, and all the others will consider this spam. A few years back, Google decided too many people are packing their websites with unnecessary or overbearing keywords, and so they said, okay, no more. So we next go to descriptions. Descriptions can be anywhere from 120 to 160 words in length. But no more. This is the description that you see in a search engine about someone's website. This is where it gets the information from. This is going to be important for people looking for the information that is going to be on your website. Here's where shines. I like to take an AI chatbot like Copilot and write up a blurb about 120 to 160 characters that includes spaces, and let artificial intelligence help me finesse this to match my website. Now, with chatbots, every time you use it will remember the conversation in a dialog box that you can usually get to by the three little bars at the top left side, and then you see all the conversations you've had. When I get through with everything, I just delete the conversation. But while you're building your website, it's always good to keep it there so you can keep adding information to the AI so that it will remember what you're talking about. So anyway, I've told it to give me 120 to 160 character description and match it to my website. And it does instantly. I just politely copy and paste. Now, you'll see where it says category and user defined. Unless you're really good at web building and understand the entire concept, I just leave those two alone. Down below, you'll see Open Graph and Twitter Card. Get your artificial intelligence to help you write content of both. Open Graph and Twitter Card is starting to go away as far as reference material, but it never hurts to have it on your website. It always winds helping you out somewhere down the line, being found in a search engine. Next, we're going to look at miscellaneous tab in our page properties, and the one thing I wanted to point out is, You can do a page redirect for your affiliate pages, or just want to send them to a website outside your own website. Like I said earlier, this is one of the fastest ways to get someone to a sales page that I know of that prevents them from knowing that it's an affiliate link, or paid link, or some other type of page. And this is how you go about doing redirect pages. Just follow all the prompts. On the SEO tab, we first look at robots. We can use index, follow, and all the other options in the pull-down menu. This tells the crawlers what to do when going to an external website. Just remember, whenever you're sending someone to an outside URL, if you don't restrict how the URL is treated, it will cause you to lose search engine optimization points. Then there is revisit after. It has the industry set presets. Revisit after 1 day, 7 days, 31 days, 180 days, or 365 days. Whenever it says expire, I generally just put in 400 days. The search engine seemed to like that number for some reason. Generally, I don't use the can article. The reason is if you don't use it right, you can really mess up your search engine optimization. Canonical tags in WYSIWYG Web Builder, what they are for and whether you should use them. What the canonical option actually does. The canonical setting in WYSIWYG Web Builder adds a small HTML tag to your page. This tag is only for search engines. It tells Google which version of a page is the official or preferred version when multiple URLs contain similar or identical content. Why canonical tags exist. Search engines often see duplicate content when a page can be reached through more than one URL. You have printer-friendly versions. You have tracking parameters. You clone the page and made small changes. Canonical tags prevent duplicate content penalties. Google indexing the wrong version. Ranking dilution. Wasted crawl budget. What canonical tags do not do. They do not affect layout, styling, scripts, page behavior, navigation, performance. They are SEO only. Why some users experience problems? Canonical tags can cause indexing issues if misused. For example, pointing the canonical URL to the wrong page, using the same canonical URL on multiple different pages, publishing your site in multiple folders with mismatched canonical paths. These mistakes can cause Google to ignore pages or treat them as duplicates. Should you use it? Most web builder users do not need canonical tags. Use canonical tags only if you have duplicate or near duplicate pages. You have alternate URLs for the same content. You intentionally published multiple versions of a page. If your site has one unique page per topic and no duplicates, you can safely leave canonical off. Simple recommendation for beginners. If you don't know whether you need it, leave it off. If you have duplicate pages, set the canonical tag to the exact published URL of the main page. I gave a demonstration of this earlier, but I want to kind of emphasize it a little better so that you can actually use this. You come up with a bunch of pictures that you actually want to use in your website. What you will do is use an FTP program like FileZilla, Core FTP, or FTP Wanderer, or something similar to these, and upload those to your website. If you don't know how to use an FTP program, you can always go into Pinel on your web hosting service and create new folder. Now the reason we are going to create a new folder is we are going to call this images 2. You see, images file folder is the default folder. For what you see is what you get web builder, and that's where it throws all of its stuff into. But we are going to need to place our pictures. Therefore, the AI is going to need to draw upon these images when you have it build your web page or your entire website all at one time. So you throw all of your photographs and your videos and your audio clips into images 2 file folder. Then you go to your favorite chatbot and you tell it what kind of a website you want to build. Now here's a real trick that most people don't know, and I'm going to tell you about it. While you have already the images file folder web builder uses an images to folder that holds the images you want to use, you also upload those pictures to the chatbot so that it can see what pictures actually look like. That's going to be put on your website. That's the only way the chatbot can really get a good look at what you're working with. I know it sounds strange, but that's the way it is. Then you tell it, okay, I've given you the pictures. I told you what my website's going to be about, and you've given it all kinds of information about your website. It's not going to upload the pictures to your website. It's just going to write the HTML code to build your website. Be sure, and I mean be sure, to tell the chatbot the images are already located in images to file folder, that you were just using those uploaded pictures as reference material for it to build your website with. It will fully understand. It will give you the HTML code, then you politely copy and paste the HTML code into the HTML tool that you will locate in toolbox of what you see is what you get web builder version 21. Once you've done that, click the published website to either your hard drive, flash drive, or external drive. Then upload all the files and folders by FTP program or through cPanel, the website that you've just cut, and paste into the HTML box. So now you've uploaded the HTML code and images to your website, which already contains images to file folder created by what you see if what you get web builder. Launch your web browser and go to your website. There it'll be. My friend down in Florida did this, and you saw it earlier, where he published his informational website about insurance. He used ChatGPT, the paid version, and as you can tell, it did a wonderful job. So, now all you have to do is make a file folder and upload it to your website containing all your pictures to images number 2. Go to your favorite chatbot and tell it exactly what you want on your website, and upload the pictures that will be contained in images to file folder. Tell it that these images and things are a reference for it to understand what's taking place, and you only needed the HTML code. Number 3, you copy and paste that into your HTML box and publish to either flash drive, hard drive, external drive. Next, you FTP that to your website in a root directory. And this is what it's going to look like, or very similar. Now these updated chatbots like Copilot, Gemini, ChatGPT, and the alike are all capable of doing this. So as you can see, it's a very simple, very straightforward process. Upload all your pictures and stuff to a separate file folder. Tell the chatbot where to find these using an HTTP or HTTPS / the address, the file folder, and the name of the pictures, and it will build all that information straight into the HTML code, and it's going to generate the code to make your website. So, in conclusion, make a file folder, put all your stuff in it, go to a chatbot, tell it exactly what you want, upload all the pictures so I can figure it out, give the exact URL of each of the pictures in file folder 2. It will write the code. Copy it, paste it into the HTML box, then publish it to a drive of your choice. Then upload it using FileZilla, Core FTP, or the alike. Now, your website is ready to go, and it's search engine optimized. What we are saying here is a prime example of how it was actually done. Did you know that this entire website was one big HTML code, and it put in all the proper breaks and everything to emulate separate pages? Like I say, you can use external chatbots to do all kinds of wonderful things. If you don't have a picture of something, or you do have a picture, you upload it to the chatbot, say make me a copyright-free replica of this, and it will. Then you just politely download it and put it into your website. And that's about it. I've showed you all the tips and tricks on how to start building your websites. Now it's up to you to design and build your own. I wish you the very best. Good luck in your website building. Until next time.